Good morning, real estate world. This is John Moss with General Property Management. I'm in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and I'm going to address this video to real estate investors, landlords, and this would pertain to residential leasing only. So recently, there was a decision that came out of Wisconsin District 3 Court of Appeals. This is case number 2021 AP 1684, and this is Blakely versus Wausau Landmark Corporation. So in the state of Wisconsin, we are covered by the laws that are given to us in Chapter 704 in regards to landlord-tenant. And then there is also administrative code that is put out by our Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection, and the admin code that pertains to us, landlords and tenants, is Chapter 134. So a little background on this. So tenant Blakely leased an apartment with his roommate in 2016, moved out in 2017. In 2019, of June, these are all June 2016, June 2017, June 2019, they filed a small claims case against the landlord. And then in December, the court decided that the tenant won. The tenant got $1,000 and $250 in attorney's fees. The attorney for the tenant petitioned the court and said, wait a minute, roughly we have $8,900 in attorney fees, and you can't just give us $250. We are entitled to more. So the defendant now is the landlord, and that is Wausau Landmark Corporation. The landlord is not happy with that, so he appeals for a trial de novo, a real trial, real judge, and after 4 months and 3 appearances in court, the decision gets changed as far as what was won and everything, but the net financial result was still the same, $1,000 for the tenant plus $250 in attorney fees. So now Blakely's not happy. So Blakely appeals to the Court of Appeals on 4 points. Point 1 is that he had to rent parking next door, and he felt that was not right because it wasn't disclosed to him and it was a violation. Point 2, the lease is void and unenforceable. And in Wisconsin, if your lease does say certain things, your lease is automatically void and automatically unenforceable. And the third thing was the tenant was asking is that the remedy for a void and unenforceable lease is that the landlord should have to give him back all the rent. So landlord, give back all the rent. The lease was void, even though you lived there a year. So then the fourth point was that attorney fees that he paid $250 was not, or awarded $250 was not right, that he had substantially more on that. And so the court came out with a decision then, and this is in May 2023. The decision was that the parking, the landlord won. The landlord can rent him parking at a neighboring lot. And point 2, the lease was void and unenforceable. The tenant won on that one. Point 3, the remedy, the tenant won. The landlord has to give back all of the rent to the tenant. The lease is void, the lease is unenforceable. Landlord give all the rent back. Point 4, the tenant also won, and they claimed, and they won this, that they had 150 hours of legal work in this, and the attorney's rate was $250 per hour, so the attorney won $37,000, or the tenant won $37,000 to pay for his attorney. So in closing, I guess what can we learn from this? And for me, I guess it's a belief I've always had to avoid court at all. Well, not all costs, but avoid it. Their attorney was $250 per hour back then, years ago. If we had an attorney, probably the same. $250 times 2 is $500 per hour. You can't argue much at $500 per hour. Just roll over, play dead, pay up. I mean, how many hours can you go on, even if you win? So be objective, swallow your pride. I guess read and know the law, and the admin code. We have the admin code in the state of Wisconsin. And then to make sure your lease is not void and unenforceable, you should review it with your attorney to make sure it's good. And you should do that now. Don't wait till it's later and you're getting served to go to court. Do it now. So I'm with General Property Management right here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So if you have questions about this, I can't give you legal advice, obviously, but I can tell you some attorneys who can. And I can also provide you with a sample of the Wisconsin state approved lease. We do have an approved lease that is approved by the state that you can use, and I think any judge in the state would have to say, yeah, that's right, it's a state approved lease. And then the final point I'll make here, and this I'm saying because I'm going to send this video to, I'm quoting someone, and I'll send this video to you. If you're standing on the train tracks, and a freight train is coming at you, get out of the way. John Moss for General Property Management. Thank you very much for watching.